hello, 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 hello. How is everyone? Who's here? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Waco. Vi. Hi. Lower the music. You got it. I usually start it off a little louder and then I taper it. Still can't hear me? Even now? Oh, it was super loud? How about now? Are we good? Is it good? Better? Lots better or kind of better? Just making sure. I don't want to be talking for 2 hours and no one can hear me. That would be ridiculous. Get the glove on. We good? Okay. Okay. Thank you for telling me. That's good. I always appreciate that. Alright. Let's see. Well, happy Saturday. It's Saturday again. We were just here, weren't we? We're here again. It's what it is. Always. We're always here. Always here. I'm hopped up on some caffeine, so that's good. You weren't here. That's true. That's true, bye. How was the wedding thing you went to? Was that good? Was it happy? Not a wedding? I thought it was a wedding. What was it? Was it in a wedding? Oh, medieval reconstruction. I got it. Okay. I don't know why I thought wedding. Okay, so it was a reenactment. Medieval reenactment? Yeah, like people fighting like they're in medieval times? That whole thing? Okay. I have to... Got it. Well, that had to be fun. Did you have a good time? Wedding, medieval fighting, whatever. It's all the same thing. It's not, but, you know. Okay. Yes and no. I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So today, first of all, I put these here because I knew I'd forget if I didn't put them here. So these are the rare Clover cards that have come out so far. This was for when you sign up, you get this. At your 4th month on, you get this one. And for your 7th month on, you get this one. And they all have little stories on the back about what's going on here. And then this is this month's. It's the snake oil salesman. This story ended up being more sad than I intended it to. So, I don't know. It's like, it's not like sad, but it's tragic. We'll say that. Because some things that are tragic are just kind of like, oh, that sucks. You know? It's not exactly like, but it's, you know. So that ended up being this one. So if you sign up today, before the end of August, too, you get these two. And then immediately, you get both of them. And then on the 3rd and the 7th, no, 4th and 7th, and you get those ones. They all have stories, lots of stories. I love reading stories. So there are those. Today we're going to be doing a RPG land chunk type thing again, because I love doing those. I'm not going to apologize for the fact I love to do those. I'm going to do, let's hope I have everything. Felt like the people in the club disliked me somewhat, not all. Why would they dislike you? What did you do? Did you do anything, or did they just like, I don't like how you look? I enjoyed explaining all the weapons and history to people who came to check the weapons outside the club. So, you taught it? You didn't just like, you didn't just go, you taught it? That's crazy. This looks silly. I'm not gonna do this. I'm just gonna put it up above my ear. Hi, cat! How you doing? Oh, and your birthday was 2 days ago. Happy birthday, Vi. Happy birthday. Oh, man, I used to have this thing for streams. It was a little cupcake. It was a plush, and you'd squeeze it, and it's saying happy birthday. And I would keep it at the streaming desk for people who had birthdays. Damn it. I don't know where it is. I'll need to find it again. Once I find it again, I'm going to do it for you for the time now that you were here and I didn't have it. Okay? I promise. I just have to find it, which is going to be a thing in itself. So, if we find it, it's going to be a good day. I don't know where it is. It's got to be with some of my plushies. I have a lot of plushies. A criminal amount of plushies. It's bad. I really want to, like... That's my creaky chair, by the way. Creaky chair. Which I should really get rid of and replace because nothing is more embarrassing than a creaky chair on a stream. Let me tell ya. Alright. Talked to a Dutch guy. Some guys didn't like it because they were saying like they were a private realtor. I don't know. Is it because you were a girl? Were they getting threatened because of that, or... Oh, drunk club members. Oh, God. Well, that's not enjoyable at all. Good Lord. Hi, Cavendish. How are you? Alright. I have somewhat of an idea for this, but I would rather... Oh, I'm going to be announcing the enamel pin 10K giveaway winner people today on my Instagram later, but Instagram's been really stupid. Yesterday night and today, I can't like refresh my notification feed. Can anybody refresh their notification feed? Like me and Gabe on all our accounts, we can't refresh it. I don't know what's going on. Oh, you're not a girl vi? Okay, just that I don't drink and sleep. Gotcha. So I talked with the Dutch guy. Okay, I thought they were, like, I thought you were a girl, and I thought they might have been threatened that you were even at the thing. So that's where my mind went, because I have game industry background, so I'm all like, oh, guys and women and being in male spaces and stuff like that. So I just made a stupid assumption. My apologies. Yours has been fine, Kat? Okay. Well, that's good. At least there were some nice people there. It would suck if they all sucked. Yeah, Pathfinder, Cavendish, yeah! Let's see. Oh, I was gonna look up some buildings. Gotta look up some buildings. Gotta look them up. We really need some thunderstorms and rain here because there's not been enough. We just need more water here. I don't know. Look at my moly arm. Okay, you know, if I had... I always get in here, and I think I have everything, and then I don't. That's the nature of streaming. You're gonna sit down. Kat, does this happen to you? You sit down to stream, and you're like, yeah, I've got everything, it's all here. And you don't. You just don't. It's like, you can't. You just can't. If you're gonna stream, you always have to forget something. That's part of streaming. 3 light layers on this paper. Really? Oh, good. Yeah, don't do too many heavy washes, because I don't think it's meant for that. It's drawing paper. It's not watercolor paper. But maybe I could make a watercolor paper. I guess I could give people the option when they buy it to do it on watercolor or drawing paper. Because I could do both. Fancy Surface pen I bought is glitchy on the new machine. Cavendish, you could always message Gabe about that, because he might have some experience with it, since he's done it before. Managed to find the brushes I had installed on the old machine. That's good. That's really good. Finding your brushes. It's always happy when you find them, especially if you pay for them. Oh, weird. That's just weird. It happens every stream. I know. It's so dumb. I almost forgot my paints today. I sat down, I'm like, okay, I've got my water, I've got my brushes, I've got my pencils. I'm good. What am I going to paint with? I forgot my paint. Yeah, it is smooth paper, that's for sure. If you like and want smooth watercolor paper, try hot press if you haven't. That's always a good one. If you haven't yet. Just assuming you haven't yet. It's bad of me to assume, but I'm just throwing it out there. Because I was using cold press for the longest damn time. I was like, I don't like how rough this is. And Gabe's like, why aren't you using hot press? I'm like, what? So then I switched to hot press, which is what this is. And it's like, oh yeah, maybe I should have been doing hot press. It's that easy, folks. No one knew. Alright. I'm going to default to something I just really want a basic draw that's super basic, but ain't nothing wrong with that. So, is it a different pen for a different surface, or is it the pen meant for that surface? And do you have your drivers updated? That could be a problem too. Let's make a really ridiculous roof. I didn't expect to stream very long today because I sent out half of the Clover cards. Kat, I'm going to be sending yours out on Monday because I ran out of international stamps. I bought more today, but it was already like too close to being past the point of, we only have like post offices open till noon and it was too close. But Monday, quite dropped my hometown map because it's big and I'm doing an Oxford map for Witcher 3. Oh, that's cool, Vi. You really love maps. I love that you have a passion for maps. That's so fun. But is it a pen that's meant for your that surface in particular? Oh my god. Oh, my voice. Oh. Yeah, because I don't know anything about Surface stuff. I want to punch Microsoft in the face, but like I said, Gabe had one, so he might have a better weigh-in than me. Oh, yeah, I don't... I mean, that's a huge jump between a 3 and a 7 in terms of, like, technology. So, I mean, if the description says it works, it should. But usually it says what model number it works with and all that stuff, because a lot of Apple products do the same thing. If you buy something that's auxiliary, it'll tell you, like, oh yeah, this works with generation blah, blah, and blah. But you have the 7, and if it doesn't say 7, then I don't think it's in there. Oh. Lady Live, thank you for the raid. Hello. How was your stream? Well, I would look up then surfaces that came out in 2017 and see if the 7 was one of them. If it wasn't, then yeah, you might be kind of screwed there. Hey, that might be your thing, Vi. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if that's what you want, and that's what you like to do, keep doing it. Screw the other things. Raid, hi Emma, how you doing? We're gonna be doing a thing. This is just my crap thumbnail that I'm gonna transfer over to here in a second. I just gotta figure out where I want stuff to go. Hello, Veronica, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sniffle, sniffle, sniffle. Today we will be doing a watercolor once I get it drawn. Thank you, lady. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for the raid. Get some food. I assume you're famished. Because that's just what happens when you stream. You get really hungry. You get really drained and you get really hungry. That's just the nature of the stream. Yeah, then I would probably return it, Cavendish. It sucks because that does get really confusing when they use the year instead of the model. I don't know why they... It's like either stick to doing the years or stick to the models. Because it's like they want you to buy it by accident. Hi, Alice. How you doing? How you been, buddy? Alice, I'm probably going to get to finishing that watercolor that you wanted to stake claim on. I'll probably get to finishing that in the beginning of September. Right now I'm just doing some quick stuff because I got to finish Guardians for the rest of August. So today I'm going to be doing, after the stream, I'm going to be doing the sticker designs for the Guardian this month. So it'll probably be cute things like little ears of corn, maybe some popcorn stickers, a sticker or two of the actual Guardian, that's the corn Guardian, and I don't know, just like cuter things, maybe a couple kernels with faces, I don't know, cute stuff. Okay, cool, Alice, thank you. You just got home from work. Oh, storm coming in. Oh, you're so lucky. I want a storm. How was work though, Alice? How was it? Hey, Vi, cool. Are you liking it? I don't know how it would do with... Like, whenever I do really detailed stuff in clip, I can't exactly have the stabilizer too high or else it gets just... It's too laggy for little details. So, I usually turn down the stabilizer when I get to detailed stuff, unless it really needs to be smooth. But, for the big sweeping things like oceans and stuff, I would assume that'd be good. No, I don't want a hurricane. You're right. I'm sorry. Are you in like an apartment? Do they do anything for that? Or if you're in a house, or do you have to put up like the wood paneling and stuff? Oh my gosh, Alice, stay safe, please. I also use Clip Studio for everything. All these, it's funny because if any of you are on my Clover card tier, majority of my Clover cards are traditional watercolor and stuff, but all my rare cards that I do, these are all done in like Clip. Like, it's weird. So you get this mix of both traditional and digital. So I don't know, I find that very kind of strange. But I do enjoy doing them on there, and like all these smooth lines and stuff, totally because of the stabilizer. Like, it's the only way I can do all these nice curves, and like it just looks smooth as butter. Just butter. I love it. But yeah, all the other Clover cards are traditional, so that's funny. Oh, if it's at 0, then it's not even on. Try putting it at 50 and see the difference. I usually have mine at 100. No idea how people are prepping other than stocking up on food. So your apartment doesn't even tell you what to do when you get to like hurricane type stuff? They're not going to give you boards to put in your windows or balcony or nothing like that? That's so weird. I wonder why they do that. I'm not going to do it as a square this time. So let's transfer this over now. Maybe make it a bit bigger. That's so weird. I would think they'd want you to like barricade stuff to protect their own property. I mean, come on. That's just strange. Yeah, Alice, do places, does where you are have a difference between a tornado siren and a hurricane siren, or are they the same thing? Or do you even get tornadoes? You have to get those too, right? Feeling kind of dumb right now. I don't realize what you have in terms of that. I'm gonna make this flap out a bit more and be more dramatic. Right? I don't know what they've got. I feel dumb about that. Really? Not even in like the suburbs or anything? Are you in like New York City proper? Or just like... Oh, you get squalls. Eastern Europe. Natural disasters. Wow. You're in the suburbs and you don't get tornadoes ever? But you get hurricanes. Why isn't that computing with me? Wow. Small world, y'all. Small world. Does anybody know anything about wood and like how to treat wood and how to bend wood? Really weird question, I know, but I have a follow-up question to that if somebody does. No. I was just drawing this and I was thinking about wood on a big scale. Like, I suppose they would just, from what I've seen, if they were going to do something on this big of a scale for like a house or something and the wood is curved, I would assume they would just stack a bunch of specifically cut ones to that angle or that bend, glue them together, and then sand them down or whatever so they'd look like one piece. At least that's what I've seen somewhat on Home Improvement Networks. But I know you can bend pencils. That's where my brain went. Oh yeah, this is just like bending a pencil. No need to glue it. But I mean, like, if you don't have a piece that's big enough to be what you want it to be, wouldn't you have to glue a bunch of stacks of something that's, you know, similar but at the same bend? God, I don't even know. Do I know what I'm talking about? I don't know. Anybody have anything cool happen to them this week? I have this have some rickety shingles. Oh, kind of like flooring? How flooring works now? Flooring. Am I saying that weird? Flooring? Floor wood cut interlocking? Ooh, an owl. Hey, that's always a plus. Tree Lord Ancient Miniature with Parker. Whoa. Whoa. That sounds fun. Did you put in any pics of that anywhere, or? I think I'm gonna make this giant rope thing. I think that'd be cute. That's okay. I want to see it before and after painted. That'd be cool. Yeah, but I'm thinking like when I say a curved beam, like kind of like Vikings did on the front of their ships, how they're curved, but sometimes when I make a roof, I'm from the Midwest. A roof, when you make a roof, like I make it where it's got this one beam that goes through it, and sometimes it's got some sort of decoration, but it would go through the roof like that, you know, and it'd be the beam. So, like, they can't make that from one piece. I don't know. This is a fantasy question, so like, this doesn't really exist. Not really. Ye old inns. Yes, you got it. Ye old inn. That's a good way to put it. Oh, really, Vi? Okay. That's cool to know. I didn't even realize that. Ooh, Emma. This owl is stunning. Did they have a name? Makes sense. When your printer doesn't have the means. Like THEE, the. Blame the Germans. Oh, Germany. When will you be let off the hook? One of those times I really want to make one of these lamps. Do they really? Oh, that's so cool. Oh, Iceland, when will you not be cool? No, no, forgotten. Why? I'm guessing there's some sort of war or something or other I'm not thinking of. Her name is Eli? Is it Eli or Ellie? Street called after Iceland even. It's just that's very far away from the mainland Europe. Oh no. So it's forgotten just because it's far away? Ellie. Oh. What a sweetie. She sounds lovely. Okay, let's see. Do I want to put a character in this? It's like I do and I don't. Oh, I have a cute idea. I don't know if it'll work though. I was thinking like a sea skipper, like a water bug, but I don't want... The thing is, sometimes when I make this architecture, I don't want to show any characters because I kind of want people to just get lost in what kind of characters would be there. So if I show... Ew, water bugs are a little... Hold on. Water skipper. Oh, see, those are cuter. But I feel like sometimes just not adding something is almost better, you know? Nah, I don't like to put in pop culture type things. I stay away from fan art when I can. Just because, I don't know. Owl being held there. Just to keep the seagulls away. Oh, cute! Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I just like the architecture itself. Yeah, I steer clear of fan art just because I don't know, I always want to do my own stuff, and unless, like, it's been a long time since I've had the urge to draw something from something I really liked. What I end up doing instead is trying to get to the root of what I want to draw, like why I want to draw that thing. And instead of drawing it straight from whatever the source is that I ingested, I guess, I try to make something that's similar but original. That way my craving gets sated and I've made something original instead. Because, I mean, all the things that are made, they're already made, you know, make something new. So this is going to be surrounded by water. In my head, this thing is like a fun little medieval water get-together place, maybe like community pool. So like something would come up here, jump into the water from there, and then people here can watch people in the water there, and there's this thing over here. So, I don't know. I like doing things with water and towers. I don't know what the deal is with that. Oh, really? Ooh, celebrity owl. Was it that new one where he's got a beard and glasses? Or is this a different one? Leo DiCaprio, not the owl. Maybe I could put a bush back here or something. Ooh, or maybe I could show the actual door. If I show the door and then a walkway, I guess I could show another roof. Killers of the Flower Moon. That is that new one, isn't it? See, now, even though this doesn't have much actual perspective to it, it's one of those things where everything going a similar way, you want to have the same lines. So this has the same line, this. Anything that, you know, is going that way is going to have the same line. So that's what's going to give it kind of a stable form of perspective, but it's still a fantasy perspective. You know what I mean? Also, I really like rounded lanterns. So I'm gonna do that. Oh, Robert De Niro? Cool. I haven't heard much about that. Does that even have a trailer yet? Or is that still kind of on the way? Be careful of tangents. This is ending up being a... Hey, Steve! How are you? How's tricks? You doing alright? How you been? Crazy world we're living in, huh? Crazy times. Yeah, it's gonna be a little, like, water playhouse, I guess. Like, bugs and things can come to this and then jump off here and play in the water that's down here. Of course, since it's going to be done with watercolor, you can't exactly pencil in the water because it'll, you know, water. So it's, you gotta use your imagination for the moment. Multiple mountains of work on my plate on top of everything else, so the usual. You know, better to be too busy than none, I guess. Ew, that's coming from me. Gross. Fantasy perspective. So it's a perspective that's not exactly rooted in reality. It's not like exactly a 2-point or a 3-point. It's kind of more along the lines of just a 1-point, like almost isometric, but you're making up your own perspective by just following your own lines. So the fact I've got, you know, this is in line with this, is in line with this, it's kind of like just a 1-point, but it's at the angle I want it. So it may not even be a real legitimate way to do it. But you can basically make anything look feasible or realistic just by following one line. Like, you can freehand that pretty easily. You don't have to use a ruler. It's pretty nice. Once you get into 2-point perspective, it does get harder, and you will probably have to use a ruler of some kind or a straight edge, because that has to deal with the horizon line. That has to deal with even 1-point perspective has to deal with, like, going back in space. So you have to worry about how things are colliding to a point. In this, it's just there's this far off, you know, terminator point where things just go to meet. You don't see it though. So that's why it's more of an isometric, because there's no real horizon line, you know. Thank you so much. You know, I can. I've got a few of these that I've done, actually. I've got this whole little series of RPG type chunks, because I was in the game industry for like 10 years, so my mind is so geared towards that. And I used to do these sorts of things and make 3D models, so I think this is my way of still being connected to that. If I have to justify it somehow, validate it. You're welcome, Cloudy. That's a good question. Thank you for that. I hope it made sense. Megan, really? Brenda, hi! I miss you and I hope you guys are safe. I really do. What I do in the game industry? I worked in mobile games, and the company I worked for basically did a little bit of everything. There was one game that I was like paired up with a dev, and we basically made an indie game together, because the company at the time was like, you know, just go for it, you two make a game. So I got to really do game design, I got to do characters, animation, UI, I even did some of the sound effects and music. I really had all reign on it except for the coding. Eventually in that company I ended up being more of a technical artist, because I ended up using Unity a lot, and I would take the images I made and put them into Unity and hook them up so that the devs could use them. So it got a little bit more techie over time, but I was always a concept artist, animator, everything. It was a little company. But I was able to do all those things, and despite, you know, like what I did so many things. Some days it was like, ugh, I don't want to do this. Other days I was like, yay, I get to do so many things. But really, I was just wearing too many hats, and I was being thrown around to where they needed somebody, and they should have honestly hired more people. So, but I did get a lot of experience out of it. You're welcome, 001. Thank you for saying so. I basically have left the industry. For the most part, I'm doing my own thing. A lot of my stuff is Patreon lately. I have these things I call Clover cards, which every month you get an ATC, basically, which is like a trading card size painting that has a story on the back. And these are my rare cards that you get every so often, every couple months or so, and they all have stories on the back. So what I really wanted to do when I set out to do art and whatever is do my stories and things. And I have stories, and I've made books. Like this is one of my books. It's called Gregor. And it's got, you know, cute story here. So kids books, kids comics, things like that. So I've written and illustrated lots of self-published stories and things, but right now I actually make a lot of my money through pet portraits. I do RPG pet portraits. Thank you, Steve. How many cards do I ship out a month? At the moment, I've got probably around 50 people on that tier. So not too many right now. But that's my Patreon info. And then for my pet and armor stuff, I translate pets' personalities into D&D and RPG classes that suit them. So what you end up doing is you as an owner would tell me all these hobbies, likes, dislikes, quirks, funny stories about your pet. And I take that and I do what I call a paw reading, and I figure out what class they'd be based on that. So if you go to the hashtag there, or the second link that's in that jargon crap, you'll see a bunch of them. I've done over 500 at this point, but that's kind of my bread and butter at the moment. But on Saturdays at 2 p.m. CST, like today, I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch, and I tend to do something I want to do. Otherwise, if I'm not doing like watercolors and stuff, on my Patreon, I have a bunch of physical rewards. I've got the Clover cards. I've got like an ATC Originals tier where I'm making these monthly for people. I've got a Curious Collector tier, which is more of a story sticker bundle thing where I make up a creature every month, I make up lore for it, and I give you the whole story behind it, and I give you this little set of stickers that revolves around their theme and everything. So like this month, it's the corn pip, and I've made up this whole universe where pips are plant deities. So I'll show you real quick. So honestly, my game design background really helps with this stuff. So an example would be this. So let me go through the chat real quick. Hats and elf ears are a clashing combination. It's true. You need to make holes in hats and hoods. Go ahead and lurk. Yeah, lurking is welcome. 50 people in the card tier. If you don't mind me asking businessy questions, can I pick your brain about card fulfillment? Sure, Steve. Yeah. But scared that I won't be able to keep up with fulfillment. Can't keep up with commissions anymore. Yeah, commissions are their own thing. Honestly, our cards, I print and cut and round them all myself. I even put on this foil. Though, if you do it a smart way and you've got the time to get ahead, you can do all this through cat print. It might be more expensive because you're not doing it all yourself and everything like that, but they do have a foil option that you can do yourself. I have a Cricut, so I do this too. So I've got a good printer, I've got a lot of cutting stuff, and I've got my Cricut. So that all makes it so I can do this in-house. If you do want to do it yourself, I would do the cards that you're planning on doing maybe 3 months worth in advance, get them through cat print, then announce that you're launching the tier, so you've at least got 3 months to start making the other stuff and order it and get it to yourself. It takes about 2 weeks to get it from ordering. So that'll really help you get into the swing of it right away. But, always hype something like a month in advance that you're going to be doing it, before you launch it. Black Moon, can you tell me if there's a blueprint for drawing dogs? Because I am doing a character design for someone I know and I want to add their dog, but I have never drawn a dog, so it looks shitty. Depends on the dog. If it's a flat-faced dog, if it's got a really pronounced snout or not, if it's a greyhound. Dogs like greyhounds with the very sleek curves and stuff, there isn't really much I can tell you for those. But for the ones that do have snouts and the ones that are brachycephalic who have flat faces, those tend to be a bit easier. And it comes down again to primitives. You're always going to get people saying, just follow primitives when it comes to animals, and it's 100% true. So if I can find a bit of scrap paper, guess we'll go with this. So, what's the tool you use? Cricut. And I make all of our stickers we do. You can do so much with a Cricut. Like I would, if anybody was wanting to start their own business and want to do stickers and anything really, the Cricut has been invaluable. I've been able to make bookmarks, stickers, you can make charms even with it. Buttons, I do my buttons and my magnets using it. The thing is crazy good. It's already paid for itself many times over. But the printer we have is a Canon Canon IP 8720. Yeah. So we would usually say to my partner and I, Gabe Galvasaur, we would usually suggest to get a printer scanner combo because technically everything's good nowadays, but if you want to print things that go up to like 13 by 19, you can't really get an all-in-one printer anymore that does that. But this printer, we bought it earlier this year. It's been phenomenal. It has been the one printer in my entire life, and we've gone through many printers. In the past 5 years, we've probably gone through 8 printers. Anyway, this printer though has been amazing. The quality is amazing. It's given me the least guff, because you know you're going to get guff from a printer no matter what printer you get. This one has given me at least the least guff ever. So I highly suggest that printer. A toy poodle? Okay. Yeah. Faith. Alice, which Faith? Why is... I'm confused. For the cardstock, I get it on Amazon. I just bought more yesterday. That is... It's a random brand on Amazon. It is this stuff. Oh, Art Faithfully. Why was she wanting to do stickers? Okay, so Black Moon, or Black Mono. Man, Monolith. Oh my god. I have like very weird dyslexia that sometimes comes in, sometimes doesn't. Well, yeah, let her know that if she has any questions about that. So a toy poodle, right? Every time that you draw, circle face, but then you'll draw another circle that's about the size of where their snout meets their face, right? And then depending on the dog, as it protrudes, because it's going to be a tapered cylinder of some kind, right? So you're going to have to figure out, like, look at the end of the snout versus where the snout meets the face and how much of a difference it is. Typically, for a smaller dog, it's like half the size. And then you'll want to measure, at least with your, just looking, how far out from their face it goes, right? So, like right now, if it were, like this is me not looking at a reference of a poodle, I would assume be about there. And then everything kind of fills in itself then. And the eyes maybe around here, right? And then I'd forget if toy poodles have, I think their ears are down. Down ears are usually just triangles, right? So in this whole dog face, you've basically got a cylinder, you've got a sphere, and you've got some triangles, right? So that's that kind of dog. And then, if you were doing ears, you just make them go up ears, go like that. They're more like cat ears almost, right? And then if you're doing a brachycephalic breed, a lot of animals, more than a sphere, they're technically an upside down hexagon. Somewhere like this. Cats especially. Cats are upside down hexagons. So that's more of a cat face. And then for a cat, they also have a snout, right? And then they've got their little mushroom nose. That's another thing. Dogs either have a mushroom nose or they have a circle nose. So it's usually one or the other. There's no other kind really. And the mushroom nose looks similar to a cat nose, right? It's shaped like a T. I'm talking like mushroom nose, like mushrooms on a pizza. So there's pizza mushroom nose, right? And then there's circle mushroom nose. Now, circle nose is more like one of those noses you'd see on a big breed, right? But they are kind of just a flamed out version of the little mushroom nose, if that makes sense. So, you know, from that, they've got their philtrum and things, and, you know. So brachycephalic breeds and cats kind of have the same start. The difference is the nose size. So right now it's a cat, and right now it's a bulldog. So, I mean, doing these sorts of things, and the bulldog has, you know, rope, and they've got their little, you know, all this stuff. And then looking where the eyes are is another thing. So without any references, this is all I can really tell you at the moment. But like this could be turned into a golden retriever if the nose came out here more, you know. And then you've got like the nose here. And then their eyes would be a little bit higher up. They're a little bit more robust. But it's basically just that, but you change things, like, you know, you taper the cylinder. But if it's shorter, you make it shorter. And then you've got the nose. So the nose usually goes at the upper point of the cylinder. So hopefully that helps. Does that help? Well, sorry for the mushroom thing, but I think it helps, yeah. It's a good analogy. I don't know. Steve, did all that help you? I know I went over a lot of crap really quickly. But people definitely like if you're gonna start doing like D&D character cards, people like that. Just saying. Or like little monster cards. If you want to see somebody who does it real good, check out my buddy Bodhi. And I wouldn't be surprised, Steve, if you already know who Bodhi is. But Bodhi's amazing. He's a good guy too. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Put the mushrooms on it. Yeah. Oh man, it took me so long to actually like mushrooms, but when I did, I was like, oh my god, what have I been doing? So I'm gonna finish penciling this, and then we'll watercolor it. All on stream, so you get to watch it beginning to end, which is how I like to draw streams. So every Saturday when I stream at 2 p.m. Central, I like to start a piece. First of all, think of the piece, start the piece, do the piece, finish the piece on the stream, like in front of you. So that's kind of what I like to do during my streams, because working on a bigger piece during a stream is kind of maddening. At least from my experience, I don't exactly like to look at somebody doing like a little portion of a piece, you know? So on my IG Live, I've been doing my pet portraits live for people so they can kind of see how slow the process is. But on these ones, since they're recorded and everything, I like them to be succinct and really, like, you can watch the whole thing be done, you know. And then I've always got these little banners at the top in case anybody wants to purchase these before I put them up in my store. I give you a deal because you've already, you know, you claimed it earlier, so you usually get like $5 to $10 off what I'll end up putting it in my store. Because you got to see it done live, and then you've got like an actual time lapse, technically, if you play this in fast motion later, of it being done. I think that's cool. And I mean, if I was at somebody's stream, I would want that. But that's just me. Mushroom picking culture, yes! Hi, West Denmark, how are you? Oh, Monolith, thank you for the follow. And Lunar, thank you. Oh, the printer doesn't sell in your country. You know, honestly, any Canon printer is gonna basically be good. Especially the Pixmas. I would trust that. If you've got one of those, I would wager money that that one would be okay. I really trust Canon pretty hardcore. Especially if it's a pretty up-to-date printer, like within the last year or two. If it's pretty new, yeah, that should be good. Shouldn't have many problems with that. And I mean, it depends too on if you're gonna, I guess, make prints with it or not, and how big you want to make the prints, because some printers don't go as big as ours is, like the 13 by 19. I think it's 13 by 19. Anyway, but it's, you know, crap, HP printer. Yeah, HP. Just use it for scanning. We had Epson printers, and they were great, and we were using third-party continuous flow ink, which is really nice. But they both, like, suddenly died in the same week after 4 years of working. So they're pretty good. But so we have a printer that we use for our prints and, like, you know, all this stuff, right? So we have one printer that's meant for all this. And then our other printer is actually a toner printer that does, it's a laser printer. So it uses toner instead of ink. And that one's really good for doing a lot of documents. If I send slips that have my Patreon and stuff, anything with text, you know, that's not this kind of text, I use that printer for that. So we don't end up using our good ink for trivial things, you know. Epson's okay. Like, it depends on what you need it for, really. Because honestly, I think Canon is way better known for having, at least over here, better ink, and all my friends have Canons. But I mean, like I said, it depends on what you're using it for. If you're making your own prints and everything. Oh, make some stickers? Then yeah, that one that we were talking about, that should be fine. Bit of vomiting and fever. Oh no, Denmark. I'm well. Today we're just making a cute little sketch of a tower that people can jump into water from. I'm going to be watercoloring it in a minute. Sometimes you'll see that I do a digital sketch on my iPad, and then I'll print that onto watercolor paper, and then from there I'll watercolor it. So at least all my lines are really smooth and really gooey good. I don't know, I like them. But for that I just use hot press watercolor paper, and I put it through the inkjet printer, and that makes it so the ink doesn't blur. It looks really good, and then later on the paint covers it up anyway for the most part, so then I end up re-inking it with my pencil. So oh, Lithuanian. Oh, cream and mushroom soup, yeah. Oh, good, Denmark. Thank you, Kat. Yeah, don't get the eco tanks. They're a gyp. They're like, oh, that's the wrong term to you. They're it's a trick. They're actually stupid expensive. Like, I think whatever one had Shaq in the commercial, we were like, oh, so, you know, mainstream printing whatever are finally getting hip to the eco tank thing. No. First of all, it only prints 8x10, which if you're going to end up doing prints and stuff, you want it to be a little bit bigger than that. And their ink is crazy expensive. And there's no real way to get third-party ink for those. So it's really not a good idea. It's way too expensive. So, I mean, if you're looking to eventually print a lot of stuff, you can always get a printer and then get like continuous flow ink that third-party you can refill. Granted, you're voiding the warranty by using third-party inks and all that stuff, so you got to be careful. Got to make sure it's what you want to be doing. But right now we're not doing that. We're honestly just using the printer's ink and just rebuying it, and it's been great. It's not too much of a money sink for us right now, and it prints great. So I love my relationship with my printer right now. for the moment. We'll see in a year. I wouldn't look into any printer that's selling you a tank with it, because usually those are going to be really too expensive, I think. But I don't know overseas. Like here in the US it's different, so you'd probably have to send us like what you're thinking about and we can tell you. You know who put out a cool story today about mushroom hunting? Oh, and she got some big juicy mushrooms too. Like, they look like cartoon mushrooms. If anybody follows Heikala, I think that's how you say your name, check out this story. Look at this big chunky baby. Oh my god, I love it. It's so cute. Alright. Let's finish this up. Stuffed cabbage. Yeah, girl. Give me that stuffed cabbage. I went through an affair with cabbage recently. Oh my god. Couldn't get enough of it. I still can't. I love it. Cabbage is just underappreciated. I had a little bit of a stage where I was going through just eating tons and tons of raw cabbage, like chips. Oh my god, so good. Definitely ink ones. You don't want to use a laser printer for stickers. You would have to get, for it to be good enough quality, you would have to get like one that we have where we have 4 color toner things, and that's expensive. I highly recommend not doing that. So do inkjet. Get inkjet and then go to online labels for your stickers. You're welcome. Thank you for asking. Let's see. I think we do waterproof, glossy sticker. It's this one. And you'll want to do one that doesn't have stickers already made. So it's like a full sheet. See if I can find it. So it's gloss, inkjet, full label. And you can look up the waterproof kind if you want to, but let me get this for you. There. Yeah. So this is basically what we use. How much time do you spend doing Patreon fulfillment? As in, how long does it take? So if we're just talking about the card tier and not the Guardian tier, the Guardian tier takes me a lot longer. But for just the cards, and if we're not talking about the foil cards, for like, let's say I was making 9 cards, just one sheet of cards, it would probably take, with that printer, it takes about 5 seconds to print a sheet, and then I cut it with a guillotine, and that takes about a minute. So if I were gonna just do that, and then I corner round everything, I have a corner rounder, and I just so I'd say for a sheet of 9 cards to print, cut, and round, less than 5 minutes for sure. So for 50 of them, it probably took me half an hour to an hour, something like that. So 9 times 5, 5 times 5. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. You can do the math there. I can't really do the math right now. But yeah, for at least one sheet of 9, it would take me less than 5 minutes, probably 3 to 5 minutes. Hopefully that helps. I want something in the water here, but I don't know what it'd be. And I don't want it to be a fish or anything. And I don't want it to be something huge. I don't want it to be a lily pad. I was thinking like a little cherry or something that fell in the water. Thought that'd be cute. But I only really want to do that if, like, there's more cherries around. No characters. Maybe a leaf. I could just put a leaf in. A leaf boat, but it'd be big. What are little things? Like a blueberry? I guess I could put a bush or something over here and show that they're around. And to show their scale. So you can see how big this actually is. I'm also releasing shirts this month. So you don't have to join my Patreon to get the info on when that drops, but you could follow it. Like go to patreon.com/Cloverkin and follow my Patreon, and then you'll know when the shirts drop. Or any of my socials, really. But my patrons do get coupons for those. But I am making shirts with my tarot cards on them that I've been doing. So there's a hermit card, shirt, and couple others. Printing them into envelopes and printing all the labels. 18. Cattails are too long though. Putting them into envelopes and printing the labels, like if I was just doing 9, let's stick with the 9 thing. So 3 to 5 minutes for a sheet of 9 to print, cut, round, and then to put them into envelopes. I print on my envelopes front and back. If you just did it on the front, I have a toner, like a laser printer for that though. So I don't know. This is kind of where we're gonna deviate, because unless you have an inkjet printer and a toner printer, it's gonna be different. Because the toner printer it's like one of those printers in an office, right? Because it goes doos, 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 so it's quicker. And plus they cost less money. You can get a cheap toner printer at like Best Buy or something for like $50. They have ones that are just black toner printers, so those are worth it too, for envelopes and stuff like that. So if you're serious about this, get an inkjet printer and a toner printer, but the cheaper toner printer that's like $50. The brand that makes a good one is Brother. That's the one we've got. We've got a little Brother printer, and it's and the big one. The little one lasted us forever though. But definitely get a toner one for documents, and like if you're making any flyers for things, anything in bulk that's got text that you're, doing for marketing that's not image heavy, toner printer, like a laser printer. So then printing 9 envelopes from there, it takes like less than a minute really. And then packaging it, I package it with a bit of chipboard so it doesn't bend. I have penny sleeves that I put them in. Penny sleeves like people get for trading cards. And then I tape it to the chipboard so it doesn't float around in the envelope. On the front of the envelope I have the address and all that, and then I have a do not bend. So what I do every month is anybody new that comes onto my Patreon, I add them to a PSD I have. I export that JPEG. Every month I recompile a PDF to be able to print it through my toner printer, my laser printer. And that way it just kind of does it automatically. So I don't have to redo everyone's address every month. I just print and it's new. And you have to take people off it anyway. Things like that when people go and leave and come on. It's not too much work if you're used to shipping. So Steve, I don't know right away if it's a good first physical option to have. If you were starting off and you haven't done any physical tier rewards yet, I would maybe start with postcards. That's a little bit easier because you can just, get postcards done at Cat Print, right? Slap a stamp on it and ship it. The cards are a lot more intense, and I would only suggest them to somebody who knows their way around shipping pretty good. Even though they are just in an envelope, you have to know what things to kind of anticipate, Yeah, I've had a few years to make it a slick system. I just stopped doing my huge rewards that were buttons and magnets. Doing 50 of those every month was a whole week of work. So I was losing that every month, so I had to stop that. But I changed buttons and magnets to just being stickers. So that's why my Curious Collector tier is now just a sticker story tier. And it's a lot just cleaner in general. But yeah, postcards. Okay, so you're talking about postcards this whole time. You're not talking about ATCs. Okay, because these are like 2x3, like trading card size things. These aren't postcards. Postcards are 4x6. That's like closer to, actually, so this is a 5x7. So 4x6 is the next size down from this, and this is one of the 2x3s. So two 2x3s equals a 4x6. So this is 4x6. This is a regular postcard size. This is not. So hopefully that helps. But you could get 2 postcards from, a sheet of that cardstock paper that I linked you to. Let's see. I really just want to make it water. Let's just do that. Let's just make it water. Whatever. Maybe in the foreground I could have more. Yeah, let's do this. We'll have some foliage here. But yeah, I have, if you look at my website, and I'll show you real quick. For my Guardian tier, I've been doing them since the winter of 2018. So I've had a few years to get these into gear here. So the picture at the top is now what they look like, and if you click on any of the ones further back, you'll see the whole button magnet thing. So any of them before July. You can see the price change too. Oh yeah, I guess I could have done that. Feels like it's pushing it now. It's like either that or this. So let's just go with this. And I'm going to erase it a little bit just so you don't see it when I put in the water. Thank you, Vi! Yeah, I enjoy doing them. This month's is one of the cuter ones, I think. I'm kind of proud of that. I'm going to take a progress shot so I can make a GIF of these later. So if you don't like physical rewards for my Patreon, I also have digital ones. Alright, let's watercolor it. Okay. Well, I'm going to start with water first because that's what I like to do. this is the size I want. Yeah, let's get a big sizer. Bigger size. Bigger size. It's always good to have a little scrap piece too. Just to make sure. Alright, here we go. Does anybody have anything fun that's going to happen in the next week? I'm just looking forward to summer being over. I'm kind of over it. Uni, yeah! Are you excited? Scared? Scared and excited? I'm gonna do the flats of this first, and then I'm gonna go in and do shadows and such. Yeah, what classes do you have? You're scared of the people? Why? Alright, what kind of I know I do this a lot, but I'm gonna go with a red roof. I just like how they look, I'll be honest. Plus it'll be a nice contrast to all the green that's gonna be around it. Oh, partygoers. Are you going to a university that has, like, it's known for being a party college? I know sometimes that's part of the problem. I'm the same. I don't like parties. Not me, sir. No. Yeah, young people. Drunks and one-minded. Interesting. I guess no matter where you are, that's the same story. Oh, cat. You're so sweet. I actually started a process video of me putting together those coloring books, Kat. I think I'll put it on Instagram and TikTok when I'm done with it, but I think it shows at least the breadth of what goes into making those books. Seeing as I have to cut it down, I have to print it, bind it, cut it again. It's a whole thing. But I think it's worth it for people to see so they know it's handmade. Oh, your friends are going into the army. Sorry. I hope you still get to see them at some point. What brand am I using? I am using probably Winsor Newtons. I think for the most part these are Winsors. It's kind of just my go-to. I've yet to use the wonderful Daniel Smith ones that Kat sent me. I'm so excited for those. I suppose a littler project would probably be a smart use for that. I'm just afraid of, like, I'm gonna screw it up. I have to get used to your color palette too, Kat. But I think once I do, it'll be fun. Be really nice. Can't believe you did that, by the way. Holy crap. Also, I'm trying to make my colors more vibrant. I'm actually really happy you noticed that, Alice, because lately it's, you know, usually I'm very subtle with my colors, but I'm trying to make them a little bit more like, I have two people that are kind of my watercolor gods at the moment that I'm trying to get more bold. Not to look at their stuff, like, I don't want to look like their stuff, but I want to have the kind of confidence they do through their brush strokes and all that. If I link them, would you rather have their Instagram or, well, one of them, I guess. Okay, so one has like a YouTube channel and one has just mainly an Instagram, so I wish he had a YouTube channel, but he doesn't. And I bet some of you remember me talking about Mateus last year. I think it was last year. It was either last year or 2 years ago. But one of my favorite people that I've been obsessed with for a while now is Mateus Urbanowitz. I think it's Urbanowitz. He does this little storefront series that's amazing. And then there's La Tinta de Alec, which basically means the paintings of Alec. Yeah. So I eventually want to get to this level. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, let me know if you have other questions. I'm happy to help. I mean, if you ever just want to, you know, sub for a month just to see how they look when you get them, so you can kind of reverse engineer it, feel free. And if I do give anybody any advice that does end up helping them, you can always give me donations and bits or on Coffee or something. Beneath the video has all my tips type stuff, so. No pressure though, Steve. You don't have to. I know Patreon can be, you know, kind of a pain. Patreon? No. But I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Oh, hi, Dennis. Oh, Dennis showed up. Dennis is here, everybody. Howdy, howdy, howdy. I always think of the little, was it Slinky in Toy Story? He's like, howdy, howdy, howdy. And he's got the hat on. I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Was it Slinky? Damn it. I'm not going to remember that. I know it. Oh, it's the shark. Thank you, Steve. I don't know why I thought it was Slinky. Is that like the shark's only real scene? That poor shark. He deserved better. Look at everybody schooling me. Oh, thank you, Steve. I assume that's you. Thank you. Side eye. Thank you. Urbanowitz? Okay. Thank you. Oh, it's pronounced Urbanowitz? I mean, Alice, you're Polish, right? He's Polish too, right? Mateusz? Am I saying his first name right at least? Mateusz? Took a big guess at that one. Okay. So it's Urbanovich, like that. Mateusz. You're not Polish, but Alice, I can't even say your name. Alice, if I had to guess at your name, Sikawas. I can't. No, I know Mateusz is. Mateusz is Polish, living in Tokyo, and his videos are amazing. You can learn so much from that. Alice, tell me how to say it. Can I just call you Soba instead of Alice then? Is it Soba? Chekava Soba? Chekavo Soba. Am I saying that right? Chekavo Soba? I thought it was Czech, like Chekava. I don't know, the C-I-E-K made me think Chekava. Oh, cute. Chekava Osoba. Okay. Chekava Osoba. That's crazy. Can I just call you Soba? I suppose whenever I say Alice, nobody knows who I'm talking about. So technically that would help. So Steve, if you're still here, I'll send out your cards on Monday then. What, is it too funny for me to call you Soba? Oh no. Is it a dirty limerick? Oh, I know it says Japanese noodle, so it's tasty. You don't want to be a tasty noodle? Come on. Yeah, he's probably not. I think he already canceled. He was supposed to be in a panel. And from what I understand, it's kind of a thrown away panel. I don't know. But yeah, he's not going. It's just with Delta out there and everything, we're a little bit too freaked out still. I just don't know if he had talked to somebody or not. Oh no, why, Dennis? What rage? Why rage? Yeah, I suppose the post office has no shortage of rage at any point. Because you made the post office person weigh them? Okay. In general, Dennis, I think at this point you can buy a scale. And have you thought of a manifest before? Have you worked with manifests? Oh no. I hate it when you can tell they're agitated and you have like the most innocent, I'm sorry, but they're just so mad. Yeah, the post office. Okay, so you're gonna need this for your Kickstarter anyway. So, let me see if I can think of a way to show this. So let me explain it first. A shipping manifest is when, and anybody here who ships over, let's say, 5 things. If you ship more than 5 things at once, you should really look into doing a shipping manifest, because what this does is it really helps out the postal workers, and they will really help, like, be thankful for this. It's a sheet that has one barcode on it, and they scan that one barcode, and it inputs all of the tracking from all your packages. So when I was doing the 50 plus packages for my Patreon, I would make the manifest, and I would bring in this giant tote, and if you don't make the manifest, they have to sit there, take each package, and scan it. Okay? So if you come in, and if they ask you, do you have a manifest, or if you just don't tell them there's a manifest, they're going to look at you like you're the devil. Because you just brought them, like, at least 5-10 minutes of extra work that could have been avoided. So, I use GoShippo for it. I only use Pirate Ship for very certain things, like media mail, and some international stuff. But international stuff right now is a pain in the ass because you have to use the tariff codes. So, Dennis, when you get to doing shipping international, we have to talk, because I will be able to help you so much on that. Tariff codes are a pain in the ass, because now you need to look up a specific code for what you're sending and add that to it and stuff. But I use GoShippo, and they make it really easy. So if you make everything before 12 a.m. that day, 12 a.m., like, you know, if it's between 1 a.m. and 11:59 p.m. in that day, you can basically make all your labels, and then there's an option to create manifest, and you just click that and it makes it for you. And then you just print it out and you're good. So you'll want to do that. Yeah, don't use USPS either, because you're going to save money. Don't use USPS boxes if you can help it, because they charge you for the box when you bring it in. And it's more expensive because it'll be a flat rate box, which means something different than just having a regular box that you weigh and ship yourself. Those free boxes they give at the post office aren't free. It's better that you just take a box you have at home and fill that and then do it that way, because flat rate is a whole different thing. My boxes and poster tubes, the poster tubes I get on Amazon, I can send you a link to that, just hit me up on Instagram and remind me. And boxes I get through That Packaging Company. It's called That Packaging Company, or The Packaging Company. Yeah. And what sucks is the packaging company has the cheapest boxes I've seen, but their shipping's $80 typically. So you want to make sure you're getting everything. So we could probably get your tubes through them too, because it'll be cheap. But that shipping, it kills you. And we live in Illinois where the company is. We could go pick it up, but it's like a 4-hour drive. But it's maddening because it's, you know, still $80 even for us. Night Vi. Yeah, Putsy, that's what I was saying. Like, they hate going through each and every barcode. So if you've got over 5 packages, please, for the love of your postal worker, make a manifest. And I mean, you can do that really easily. Just make sure whatever online thing you're looking for, just go in the help section and be like, create manifest, and see what it says and how to do it. But it's important, if you're going to start shipping a lot of things, to look into how to do that. It'll save you time too. Thank you, Vi. But yeah, we can talk about that, Dennis, for sure. All your shipping needs, I got you. If there's one thing shipping that many packages a month did, it made it so I know exactly what to do with certain stuff. I am the shipping queen, so I can totally help you. Let's make it, I guess, blue on the inside. Well, yeah, but you don't have to even worry about having these until after the Kickstarter, really. So we'll be okay. Don't stress. Gabe and I will help you. You will be ready to go. We will not leave you hanging. Because shipping took me a long time to trial and error, so if I can help you not do everything I did to go through, I will. Hey! Yeah, Kristen! And I mean, Instagram is great for starting streaming because you don't have to show your face. There's no real commitment to it. You can stream for 5 minutes or however long you want. So if you're just starting, it's great. Oh, thank you, Alice. It'll get lighter, but hopefully it's a decent, Dennis, are you going to do an email blast with a link to the Kickstarter so people can sign up and get a notification when it goes live? Have you already done that? I already forgot. Sorry. An email blast. Do you guys have because I assume you're going to send these to everybody who's on your Patreon and Botched and all that stuff, right? Yeah. So I was saying do an email blast, meaning take everybody who's interested in your company, your work, all that stuff, and do a blind copy email. So BCC all these emails. Don't put it in the main email area because everybody will see who everybody is, but put it in the BCC spot in an email chain and send them to the link and be like, hey, we're going to be starting a Kickstarter. Maybe put in a picture or two so they can see, oh, this is cool. I'll click this link. And then they put in their email and they get reminded. But, well, if I were you then, I would go through in your relationship manager on Patreon and copy down all the emails or download the CSV if it gives you the option to download the CSV of all your patrons. No matter the tier, and then send them an email to have them sign up for the Kickstarter as a reminder to go live. And then later, when the Kickstarter launches, you could email them again and be like, okay, now it's live, just because. Hype is everything. Okay, what am I doing? I'm doing this. Let's get this green in here. Mixed success there, yeah, and it's always going to be mixed success, honestly. You're going to hit and miss, and that's why what sucks is no matter your following online, if you have a huge following, it doesn't always guarantee that you're going to have a successful Kickstarter or anything like that. It sucks because you would think that translates, but it really doesn't. So you really, despite whatever, you've got for a following, you have to still put in the time to do advertising and all that kind of stuff, because if you don't, you're gonna get stuck high and dry, and you thought you'd have enough, but nope. And there are some people who get close to not making their goal, and they'll just put in the rest of the money themselves. I've seen people do that before. Gabe and I haven't done that, but we've seen it. We've seen it done. Just so they make the goal. And I was thinking, Dennis, maybe not. If you wanted to have a domain for Lycan, instead of directing to Hivehead, you could, and then just have it redirect to Hivehead, but you just buy the domain. That would work too. That way, you know, the actual project could have its own domain, but that's totally your call. Gabe is the art editor, but he did not do the art. You'll make people think he did the art. He did not do the art. Whoever did do your art did it very nicely, but... So right now you're using Hivehead Studios to direct people to the page for the Kickstarter, or how are you doing it? Yeah, so what you could do is you could buy a domain that says like Lycan Solomon's Odyssey, or just something that's easy to remember, Lycan Book, if it's not taken, lycanbook.com, so you can just, so it, in people's heads, it's the name of the Kickstarter, so there's no disconnect, because then people are like, Hivehead, what's that? But if you're like lycanbook.com and they go there and it just goes to the Kickstarter, or you could have a landing page that says the Kickstarter is here, here's our Patreon page, blah, 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 and they can get to the Kickstarter from there. But either way, you can just buy a domain and have that redirect somewhere else. That's also possible. And if you don't want to buy a domain, if you want to do a bit.ly, you could go to bit.ly, bit.ly, go there, put in the Kickstarter link, make a bit.ly that's like bit.ly/lycanbook, and that goes to your Kickstarter instead of having kickstarter.com/blah, blah, 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 blah. So that's a lot easier to pimp too. Why did your patron buy a domain that goes to the Kickstarter? Weird. That's gonna be... it's gonna be blue. Clock Fox? Oh god, that's not gonna help anybody either. Make it something that makes sense to the actual product, guys. Good lord, come on. That's a waste of $15. What are you doing? Nut bars. I mean, but that's $15 at least, typically. Silly people. Yeah, it's a little misleading. It's honestly the same reason I changed my art name way long ago. My first art name online was Hardshell Art, and it was so confusing to anybody who saw it because they thought I did art for shells, when really I was like trying to make it so my logo was an armadillo, and I thought it was clever and all that stuff. But that's one of those things where it's like, ask people, you know, what does this sound like to you? Because what you intend for a brand or all those sorts of things isn't always what it ends up being. So it's better you ask around, because you're going to get better feedback that way than just what's in your head, you know? Yeah, either get Lycan Book or do the bit.ly if you want a free way. Like a free option is to do the bit.ly. That's the easiest free option. But if you want to do it the legit way, get likenbook.com or something like that. Oh, Lord. Okay. I guess we should have thought of this ahead of time then. My bad. I should have brought it up because I thought of it, but I don't know why. I even looked at Gabe's stuff that he made for it, and I didn't even bring that up. I didn't know it was the link for the Kickstarter, I think. I thought you were just saying, like, oh, this is the company. But I mean, online, if you want it to be easier for people to find, maybe start using that other link. Because you don't want a long string or anything like that. And word of mouth is super important, so when people can actually say, you know, and remember a URL, that will, like, help immensely. Sounds like Gabe's watching a movie about techno. Weird. I would do Lichen Book if you can. The shorter the better. If it's taken, then maybe Lichen Comic. If that's taken, then Lichen Comic Book. Anything like this, though, you always want to keep it shorter if you can. So like I said, if somebody was telling somebody else about this, they'd be, it was like Lichen something, something. But if it's Lichen Book, they can just be like, oh yeah, it's Lichen Book. Well, they might be taken, though, and just not used. And then if you can't find the domain on whatever host you're using, like, you can always look on another one. Like, I wanted cloverkin.shop, and my host didn't have that available, so I had to go somewhere else. What color to make this drape? Maybe a yellow, orange, red? No. Ugh. Maybe just another blue. Oh, there you go. So, I mean, if you want to do that, Dennis, you can. I mean, it's nice for, like, let's say you don't have the swipe up feature on Instagram or, you know, wherever. So if you just put the link, you know, people will be able to just switch over to their browser and type it in if they want. So it's nice for that reason. Because, I mean, let's say you don't have the swipe up feature and you do a story about it and you don't have a post or anything people can click to, they're going to see the Kickstarter link and be like, I'm not typing that in. Because I learned this a long time ago during, like, my time in mobile games when I was learning about UX design, which UX means user experience. So there's this whole philosophy behind UX and UI, and some things are like how many clicks to get into a game, and to lower that number so people don't quit out of the app too soon. Because a lot of problems with mobile games is if you have too many intro screens or company splash screens or anything like that, people are just going to leave and uninstall the game. They're not even going to wait for the game to start. So you have to mitigate that and what needs to be there with getting somebody into the game as soon as possible. So that also goes with a lot of website design theories and things like that, where you're supposed to get somebody to the end goal as soon as possible, as easy as possible. So there's this thing called the least amount of clicks. So you want to get somebody to the end goal with the least amount of clicks possible. So ideally just one if you can, but it gets infinitely harder when they have to go through a couple other clicks or they have to type in an address. That's almost always they won't do it. If they have to type it in, they almost never do it. So a lot of things like that are very important to think about. Because there's all this philosophy behind all this stuff and what to do and what not to do and, what it means for, your product if you can get them there. But yeah, and there's a lot to it. And being in mobile games, when I was in there, I eventually wanted to get out because not only did I want to do my own thing, but a lot of the mobile game industry and what it's built on, the ideals and all that, are very shady, I guess, because the whole industry is basically built around addiction, if you think about it. Trying to get people back into the game as much as possible for all that engagement, and, you're being paid sometimes for the amount of people you have using your game and things like that. So getting people addicted is one of their biggest goals, if not the biggest goal. So that made me feel icky a lot when I'd have to compromise things in the game itself for getting people to stay. And that killed me. Every time I had to nix a part of a game just so we could keep people or get them into the game faster. Like when you're an animator and you have to get rid of like an intro scene or anything like that because they just want them into the game as soon as possible, it hurts. So you have to figure out other ways to do that. And that part at least was kind of fun because I could still do it. But the idea of the whole, it was bad feels like, and I felt like I was throwing my art into a useless abyss. I didn't want to do that. And honestly, even if it was for a good mobile game company, I don't think I'd want to work in it again. I really don't. Like, it just, ugh. I feel at least now I'm doing what I want to do. And I'm getting to what I want to do, ultimately, my end goal. So, with that, it's important that I keep my eye on the prize there, because I could go back into gaming. I could, and I miss it. But not the way it is now. Not the way it is now. Not like this. Not like this. It's too bad, too. I was very lucky I got to make at least one game that had kind of an indie soul to it, like an indie game soul, that was made with just heart involved. And then after, like, it ended up getting like 2 million downloads. And the company got so mad because we didn't monetize it correctly. But if, like, we had just made it 99 cents or something like that, which that's fine, and just sell it the way it was, okay. But then they wanted to do the free ads thing, and then they wanted to take little aspects of it, tear it apart, throw price tags on certain parts that, it affected how the game was enjoyed. It kills you. It absolutely kills you. And now we get the wannabe famous people. This is great. Good timing, bot. Good timing. Wow. Mobile games, yeah. Yeah, they shouldn't be giving you ads if you pay for it. That's not right. That's not what it should be doing. You paid for it. It should not have ads. You know what really hurts? The fact that I made some of these games and I am proud of them, and they are no longer supported. So I can't even play them myself anymore because the company that, I worked for and made them with, they don't keep them up to date or anything, so I can't even play my games that I helped on, That kills. Oh, that kills. That's the nature of the beast, I guess. Oh, well. Actually, that would not have blue on it. This would have blue. Blue. Just be picky with the mobile games you play. Because one of the ones I made, we ended up doing sports games near the end. Not what I signed up for. Not what I wanted to do. But we ended up doing that. And one of them was a bowling game, which I was doing all the models for. It was a 3D game, so I did the models, I did animation, I did all that stuff. And it was a cute little game, but it got dicey when we had a ball that was $100. It was a virtual bowling ball that was $100, and I made it so it had it would start the lane on fire, and it would have smoke and embers and all this debris and stuff, and it was cool, but there are all these terms that mobile games have for customers. Like there's VIP, and there are people that are called whales. Whales are the people that will spend a ton of money on your in-game currency stuff. So the people that would buy the $100 bowling balls, you would call them whales, and you would kind of cater to them. If they kept doing it over and over again, they would get this sort of VIP treatment from the company then, so that they'd keep doing it, and they knew this. A lot of people that were whales would go into a game knowing they could put down a ton of money, and then the company will come to them for future updates and stuff and be like, hey, what would you like to see in the next update, and things like that. So $20K? What? Oh my god, yeah. Was it Marvel Puzzle Quest? Your guy downstairs is one of the people that plays that game. He doesn't put any money into it. He put $20 into it once many years ago, and I was like, don't you dare do that again. Don't do it again. Because you don't need to put it in to play. It's one of those ones where it's if you put in money, it's a pay-to-play sort of thing, you can advance pretty hard. But, oh god. $20K, oh my god. Don't tell me he replaced it with Warcraft or something. As long as you're not actually addicted to it, Kat, where you forego your other life things, then you're okay. But if you start well, I can't go to your birthday party, I have to play this mobile game, don't do that. I know you're better than that anyway, so I'm not worried, but still. I don't really miss it, but I do miss it. I miss doing it on my own. If I ever got the chance to make another game with somebody, I think I would. A, indie game with a dev, because that was really fun. And the dev that I worked with for that particular game, he was such a good friend. He was a really nice guy, really fun. Really smart. I don't know, programmers were really awesome to work with. I really liked a lot of the programmers I worked with. They thought I was a little crazy, but I think that's just the relationship between programmers and artists. We always tell them our eccentric ideas, and they tell us what's possible. One of my favorite devs would always say, it's not impossible, but it's improbable. And I was like, okay, that's fair. That's fair. He's a really good guy, too. I miss them. They were fun people. Some of my favorite people I've ever met. It was a good place to work just based on my fellow employees, but what sucked about it was the management. It's always the management, right? The higher-ups that have to worry about the money side of things. I mean, I get it. I get their worries and everything, and I understand you gotta run it a certain way, but I think they were like old dogs, like they were, you know, the Atari guys and everything that started a game studio because they liked video games, but they failed to update with the times, and typically the games would suffer because of that. Oh yeah, then you're good. You replaced it with MTG, oh god. Only if you sell the cards or he goes and like competes, then maybe you get a return on investment, but that one's not gonna be for a while. Oh, Serenity, thank you for the resub. For store credit. Please. Please. Oh my god. I'm done with this guy, Dennis. Don't tell me it's Phil. Is it Phil? God damn it. It's Phil, isn't it? Oh, he gets more money back. It perpetuates the machine. LOL. Oh, see, at least musical instruments, though, I think those are a fair thing to waste money on. Waste money. Honestly, I do. I think at least that has some potential for some fun. It's like buying a board game, I feel like. But mobile games, mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Okay. This looks like an early morning piece. That was unintentional. Oh, that ended up a bit too green. Art supplies. You know, that too. That and like musical instruments, I still feel like those sorts of things aren't a waste of money. You know what I mean? I hate that I love this overpriced thing. Have you guys seen this thing? This paint puck thing? It's like a mug of water that's got like these things at the bottom and all these things to hold your, like it looks like this. This is way too expensive, I'll be honest, but this is one of the best things I've ever used in my life for painting. God, then it's not overpriced then if I love it so much. I don't know. And food. Dogs are also not a thing that you waste money on. Dogs are wonderful to waste money on. That's an investment, damn it. You're keeping a being alive. Dogs are wonderful and worth the money. Any pet that brings you joy. Honestly, anything that brings you joy really should, you know, it's fine. Whatever you choose to spend your money on, if it makes you happy, cool. As long as it doesn't hurt anybody. But be smart about it, I guess. I don't know. Let's make this a little bit hotter. Oh, really? Your career coach? Yeah, as long as it doesn't hurt you or others in the process, do what you want with your money. You know? I get it. It's fine. I'm not trying to tell anybody how to live, but it's just, don't hurt yourself. What is a career coach? Is it somebody who actually is like not at your job but is helping you with your job? What is that, Dennis? Like, is it somebody you go to for your long-term goals and ideas and things, or? Like, I'm sorry, I legitimately don't know what that means. I'm guessing it's like a life coach where they help you with your life, but more specifically your career. Let's see. This will all tighten up once I put in more line work and junk again. Ooh, how do you say her name? Oh, or the company? Deloitte? Wow. Wow. That seems actually really smart. Then nobody actually, like, gets mad at the management then? It's like a middleman? That's crazy. I've never heard of that. So that is part of your company. Wow. Well, I feel dumb. I didn't know this was a thing. That sounds extremely helpful, though. Huh. Did I say that company name right? Deloitte? I've never even heard of it. That's crazy. Cool. Well, sounds like you got a sweet gig then. Sounds like the company actually, I don't know, cares about you. Wow. And your progress. That was another thing that I learned in the game industry, is that titles don't really seem to matter. Like, you can basically call yourself anything, and as long as it doesn't involve a pay increase on an industry end, they'll let you do whatever you want. So what sucks is I was able to change my title just by being like, hey, can I be this now? And they'll be like, yeah, whatever. And then once I was like, okay, so I'm doing art direction on like 3 games at once right now. Can I be an art director? Can I put that on my title? And they told me no. And the main reason was because an art director gets a big, massive pay bump. And they didn't want to do that. But I was art directing on 3+ games at a time. So, yeah. The Big Four? Who's that? I don't even know what we're talking about. So you're losing her to something better, though? Like, she gets to go to a better job? Good for her. She probably earned it. Right? You'd think. But when the company, doesn't want you to find out you're being underpaid for how much work you do, there is that. I miss working in an office for the people. I always was able to find good people where I worked. There are always jerks too, but I don't know. It was nice working with people, but nowadays it's not worth it anymore. I don't think I could be really happy in a studio again. I think no matter what I do, I'm gonna have to work remotely or alone because it's just not the same anymore. Oh, I don't even know what those are, Cat. Look at you. Yeah, we don't even know. Holy crap. She's got a good thing lined up. That's great. Good for her. Completely paid for medical. Wow. Yeah, that's worth leaving anything for that's not that. Good for her. Oh, JC, thank you. How are you? Welcome. It is a cute picture. I'm happy with it. So far. So far. It still has time to wrong me. We'll see how it does here on out. We'll see where it goes. How you doing, JC? Oh, thank you. They're violently pointy. Happy gasp. Happy gasps are good. Don't forget to breathe. Happy gasps. Gasps. Pss, 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 pss. In comes the kittens. Happy gasps. Pss, pss, pss. Cue the kitties. How's your day been, JC? How you doing? This does look like a morning scene. I don't know how I did that. Unintentional. On the way to bed, I saw Cloverkin was drawing something so cute. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I enjoy a good drive-by high. Thank you. I hope you sleep well. Enjoy your weekend. Oh God, that's gonna be way too bright. Ugh. Trying to get more bold with my shadows here. Let's go for it. Do it. Except for that. That was too far. Help. I'll have to do some detail work with a pencil. With a pencil once we get there, but you know. Fiddle with my bed because my cat decided that my apartment was a racetrack. Oh man, kitty zoomies. Yeah, cat, I would assume that's the overall price for stability nowadays. The frustrations that it all involves. I could totally see that. Because no matter what job you have, even if it's your dream job, there are going to be days. Man, there are always going to be days where you just, you check out mentally like you're not, can't do it today. But since so many people are getting poached to other companies, Deloitte keeps trying to come up with ways to keep the rest of us. That's good. Perks for you. Money, money, money. New cat parent. Huzzah! Huzzah! Kitty mommy daddy person. They. Kitty parent. Happy parents. Alright, that's what I was trying to get to. Just do that part. Parent. I try not to use like puns like that in my emails to all the you know the pet owners that I have to talk to for the pet commissions, but damn it, they work themselves in there. I can't help a pun or two once in a while. I mean, if you're doing it and it's your job, it's gonna happen. No regrets. It's gonna happen. They are. They really are the best. They're the most like wholesome, fun, you know, unless they're dirty. but for the most part, they're harmless. Oh no. Your cat's like, wait, who are you? Are you my mummy or my parent? Oh, thank you, Alice. Thank you so much. Soba. Thank you, Soba. Once again, I'm trying to go a little bit darker in areas so I can actually, you know, get this to work right. Trying to get better at defining areas, which with watercolor, the big thing with defining areas just means you have to wait until the previous area is dry. Which, it so happens, is also one of the hardest parts of watercolor, is the patience aspect. So there's that. I think I want to go in with the pencil now. Or at least do more with the water. Let me do more with the water real quick. And then I'm probably going to go soon. So if anybody has any questions or anything they want me to answer, I'm more than happy to do it. But feel free to ask now. I have become the noodle. Oh, thank you so much, JC. Yeah, and you know, honestly, I'm usually doing 3 at once here, but today I wanted to kind of focus a bit, had a couple things. Today was supposed to be a short stream, right? Does it ever? No. Come on. Even when I'm on Instagram Live, is it ever a short stream? No. 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 I try, but you know, it doesn't always happen. So the areas that have this bright teal are the ones that the sun's hitting. The areas with the dark blue are the areas the sun is not hitting. So there's that. I'm gonna want to do this other little part and then we'll be good. They're a myth. They really are, and I feel bad because I feel like more people would watch them if they saw, oh, this is 2 minutes. This is not 4 hours long, you know? But sometimes it's just, you know, especially when this is your only form of, you know, communication with the outside world. I don't know. Maybe that's you because it's me, because maybe it's you too, so it's us. That sort of thing. Yeah, so the sun's over there. I've decided where the sun is. I'm gonna draw in some more leaves. More leaves. How about that? Yeah, I totally understand that actually. My partner and I used to do like 8-hour streams way back when, and so now, you know, I start at 2 and I'll go till like 5 and I'll be like, oh, compared to what it used to be, that was short. It's weird, you get talking about a bunch of stuff and it's hard to stop talking about a bunch of stuff. Oh man, it just got hot in here. Why did it get hot in here? What the hell happened? Oh god. That was weird too. It was like a burst of heat. It's like somebody turned on the heat. That feels really weird. I guess it is, yeah. Now my dogs are angry. But for why? What has happened? All my dogs are angry. I have 2 Poms and an English Bulldog. You can see them on their Instagram. I put up a video the other day. It's a reel of the English Bulldog falling off the couch. It was hilarious, and I had a good time with it. No, I did not push her. It looks like I did, but it just happened. Yeah, these are Winsor Newtons. They're kind of pretty basic watercolors. They're not the cheapest, and they're not the most expensive. They're what they are. Man, now I gotta match this other one. This other dark over here. There you go. Trying to round out this background a bit more so it doesn't look like just kind of weird. But I can also save it later with doing some more line work. Oh, thank you. They are very cute. The 2 Poms are rescues. The white one is very old. She is Butters. And she has the funniest quirks because she's a senior dog. I love her so much, but she's a goddamn mess. She really is. Maybe part of the problem is I don't have a fan in here. They really are. They have a lot of issues, but damn it, they're worth it. I love them. Now, if I had a white... See, I guess I could do that. Alright, let's... I know I said I was going to end, but I forgot I could do the next part. The next part is kind of the most fun. Let me at least get to that. We'll see. Honestly, I'm having a lot of fun in this piece, so... I'm supposed to get back to work, and I will. If anybody here enjoys my work, please check out my Patreon because it helps me so much, and I have a lot of cheap options, and you still get something cool from it. Part of those is this. These are my Clover cards. And I've shown these a million times on the stream already, but this is this month's Clover card. This is a snake oil salesman. There's a whole tragic story about him on the back. And these are the rare cards you get. These ones here, which tell a little bit about Cloverkin's story, journey, all this stuff. See, now it's just weird. Oh, I forgot the thing on that. I gotta go back and do that. But it's weird because I've made like a reverse character. So I started dressing like this at cons, and then I was like, oh, I've got so much lore that I think would make really cute whatever, and I attached it to a character, and then I made the Cloverkin character off of myself. So now I'm reverse cosplaying, I guess, sort of. Yeah, anyway. What size is this? This is the 2.5 by 3.5. This is the ATC size. Aha. Aha. This one, though, the original size for this original is for sale, by the way. But this is also 8 by 10. So it's yay big. About. So much personality. Yeah, she really does. She has so much personality. Cat, do it. I highly recommend whenever, you can, paint small. Because it's going to help you in your skills later for painting bigger. Anybody that starts painting, do not paint huge. Like, I can't stress enough how bad of a move it is to start painting at like anything above 5x7. I think even 5x7 might be too big to start with, but if you're just starting painting or you're rusty on painting, anything like that, start small because you're going to be able to work out a lot of kinks and things faster making a bunch of small paintings than if you're doing a bunch of big paintings. And so many times somebody will start a big painting and they'll be like, oh my god, no wonder I don't do this anymore. This is too much. I'm overwhelmed, blah, blah, blah. That's the main reason not to do it. You'll mentally just overwhelm yourself with how much there is. So you start small and you're like, oh yeah, this is fun. Oh, next time I'd like to try this other one. And if you screw up or whatever, it's not a big deal. It's this big. And there is a market for tiny paintings too. If you're worried about not being able to sell them, lots of people like to buy smaller originals because they're more affordable. And you can keep them in like a binder and stuff. And you can swap them out in frames. It's the future of painting. I don't know. Yeah, exactly, Alice. Yeah, Soba. I know the paint sketchbook size. Yeah, and I mean, at any point, Kat, if you look at the 5x8 and you're like, oh, it's too big today, just go smaller. And usually I keep it to frame sizes. So it's like, these are 2x3s, and then I go up to a 4x6, and then a 5x7, and then a 6x9, and then an 8x10. So like keeping it to frame sizes helps you just kind of think in frame sizes. Like, you know, so you know exactly how much more to do. And, you know, doing it inside of a crop space so you can go over on the bleed, because one of the most satisfying things is later on after you cut out a painting and you get this nice line and you're like, oh, it looks so good. It's the effect of the tape, but I like to go over into the canvas because sometimes the tape like holds onto the paint, and me being a dumbass will smear it sometimes. So I don't recommend doing that if you're dumb like me. I'm not like dumb, but I have dumb moments. Everybody does. Don't tell me you don't. You do. Everyone does. 2 pictures in regular size sketchbook paper. When JC got better, the frustration grew. Then all the details would fit and it would naturally go up in size. Yeah, and you know, that's part of it too. When you start off small, you start to learn pretty quickly how to make a composition where everything works, you know? And if you start too big, you aren't used to how to compose a piece, especially at that size. So you're going to have one of those really off paintings where like you look at it and there's all this detail in a corner, and then the rest of the painting you can tell they didn't know what to do. That usually tells you don't know how to balance a painting. So your composition needs work, aka move down. You know, you'll know when you get to a point when you're working on smaller stuff that you can do bigger stuff. So I like now that I can go between this and basically an 8x10 without any feeling, you know. If I get to 9x12 and up, I'm a little bit, okay, I gotta think more about this, you know. And a lot of the time, what else helps is if you are adamant about doing a bigger piece, do the sketch digitally first. So you can kind of do it at this size, which is going to help you to balance it here. And then when you blow it up, it's going to be a little bit easier to kind of take it. Because a lot of the times I'll do a sketch here and then I'll blow it up and I'll, you know, print it on the 8x10 or whatever and then paint it traditionally. And that really helps balance it in kind of a easier way, you know. Just, oh, come on, don't call me smart. I have smart moments. Everyone has smart moments. Even dumb people. Smart moments. Thank you, JC. Okay, let's do this water. There's a couple harder spots that didn't end up looking like I wanted them to. And then a couple spots that need to be a little bit harder. So I'm gonna go in here, Gonna fix those up. Yep. Take this one. It's so magical. Oh, well. So I did a whole post for anybody who's on my Patreon, $3 and up, that I know I talk about this a lot, but really it's my only bread and butter right now in terms of money. But still, I give good tidbits. So on this post, for anybody who's interested, JC, you just reminded me of this. So I have a whole post about my toned paper tools. So these are half of them. The other half, here. Well, these are about half. I have five of them. So I go through each one of my different tools here for my toned paper stuff, and I talk about my paper, I talk about, you know, markers and stuff. I give links to the things I use, and I talk about what they're each good for. In a nutshell, I would say this is from most opaque to least. This one is good for areas where you want to start a gradient kind of lightening up and you want it to be ink. This is good for detail areas and some areas where you want it both opaque and not so opaque. And then this one is the most opaque. This is basically a paint marker. So you can blend all three of these. You can take your finger and smear it. And that's typically what I do, at least for my toned pieces, if anybody's familiar with those. So you can see here how bright this one is. So usually this one I'll do for a lot of, if I've got some, like, you know, sparkles on the water and things like that. This is a lot of when I do my magic for my casters and things like that. I'll use this one because this one's very nice. It doesn't fade after it dries or anything like that, which a lot of them do. That one I was using a second ago fades pretty quickly, but this one is nice because it basically stays opaque. This is one of my favorite parts. So I like to live in the moment when I'm doing this one. And then the other one is made for pieces that have detail like this, but on a much smaller level, I guess. Really, Kat? Thank you. I'm glad it was helpful. It's so hard to write those kind of posts because for you it works because you do it all the time. So to actually write a post about how you use your tools is ridiculously difficult because you have to deconstruct how you think and be mindful of how you use things and think of using things while you're like telling people about it. So it can get really intense really quick, really difficult. Honestly, it is something else. But that's why it's usually really time consuming because you have to do you have to put together all the pictures and then you have to think about how you think and tell people about how you think, and sometimes it just comes out garbly madness, which, I mean, that is how people think. It's garbly madness, but to actually put some rhyme or reason to it is a whole nother thing. And sometimes I like to go around the foreground elements just to crispen them up. Crispen, Glover, crispen them up. There we go. Yeah, a little bit like that. That can help. And then you go swoosh and dot 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 and washy wash. But people like that and they understand that, and honestly it's a fun entertaining way to do that. So, I mean, it depends on your demographic. Honestly, JC, you talk like that to somebody who is like you and does things the way you do, that's perfectly acceptable. They will understand you 100%. You know, it just depends on who you're talking to. Honestly, it's just jargon, which people get that, you know? Okay, so we got the water. Bam! Got the water. I literally forgot to do the little lantern tops. But I don't want to make it like that. Oh, and then you can take a water-based marker and go in here too. This makes everything a little bit better too. So water-based markers are helpful because they can really pull some shit together pretty quickly. And water-based are nice too because if I wanted to, I could basically blend this with the watercolor. I don't know, I just like working with mixed media. There's a lot you can do with it. Sometimes I like using markers at this phase too because that tip really can help. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it, Alice. So now I should be able to just go in here and kind of blend parts of it because it's water. So if I feel it's a little bit too stark, just use some water and blend it a bit. There we go. Being a little stubborn. Oh, thank you, JC. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad you think so. Yeah. That's a good reason to use water-based markers, is so it blends pretty seamlessly into the watercolor. You can use alcohol markers too, but make sure it's just after you're done using watercolors, or else if you reconstitute the wetness of the alcohol markers, you might run into some issues because the alcohol will separate with the watercolor, and then you'll get this weird effect. It's like walls, basically. Alright, so now I'm gonna go back in with this pencil. So I don't think there's any white parts I want to do. I think just the water. Maybe a couple of parts of the stone. Okay. Almost there. We're almost done. 3 hours later. Come on. Don't die now. Don't die on me! Okay. Oh, this one does not want to behave. Come on, you. There we go. Still not doing what I wanted to. Okay. Whirring. Is it still happening? What is the whirring? Okay, it might have been the pen then. Could have been the pen. If you notice my fingers are blue, it's because I had it out with my printer yesterday. We had a fight. It's okay. No one got hurt. It blew me. We'll say that. It blew me. LOL. Naughty. Fimo, hell yeah. Man, I used to make little charms and jewelry and such. Oh, I wish I had time for it still. What'd you end up making, JC? Used to make little cute breads and things like that. Then you just gotta tighten up the rest of the piece. Go back through, darken parts, outline things that lost their detail, add new detail. If anybody wants this piece, it'll probably be like $35, somewhere in there. So if you want to claim it now, I'll knock off $5 and you can do it for 30. Otherwise it'll be in my store. I get to do some more detailing here in a minute. This one's going to be made of stone. Maybe you heard that. That was my stomach. beads for Mom. Mom has paid her joints and rest. She can't make all the things she wants to. Oh. Carrot theme. That's so sweet. Yeah, you heard that? My tummy? Oh, man. Yeah, I'm hungry. Oh, boy. Oh, thank you, Alice. Soba. I try to make them look natural. You guys heard that? Like, seriously, you heard my stomach? Oh, that's embarrassing. Oh, God. 20 people heard my stomach grumble. It happens. It's a stream. One of the things with streaming is you have to get used to laughing at yourself. Hi, Denmark. Welcome back. What's up? See, isn't that part of the fun of coming back to a stream where somebody does something like the whole time on one piece and then finishes it at the end? Because then you get to see the whole piece. I don't know. I'm a big fan of that. I like showing the whole piece get made. Showing bits and pieces of a bigger piece is fun too, but I don't know. I leave that for my IG Live, and I just do that during the week on IG Live, but on Twitch I like to at least start and finish something. Texture, outline. And I might clean this up a little bit more off stream. So I gotta get back to work. Except I get to do stickers today for my Guardian tier on my Patreon. If anybody wants to get monthly cute things and stories, please check out my Patreon. It's so much fun, and it really helps me. Right now with conventions being kaput still, I'm not going out. It's still scary out there. My Patreon is my bread and butter. Oh, thank you, Denmark. Yeah, Tiny Paintings Cat. Tiny Paintings Cat. Did you already stream today, Cat? It's true, it could have been. Could have been a fart. But you know what sucks? You have a creaky chair, and sometimes you just creak it a little bit, and it sounds like that. Oh, tomorrow's stream day. Oh. I thought you streamed on Saturdays. My bad. It must have been those times I was on Sunday and you raided me. I'm a dum-dum. I started holding my breath when I'm like doing the line work, similar to when I'm using a pen, but I feel dumb because it's a pencil. It's like you don't have to hold your breath. So if anybody is interested in buying this piece, let me know. It would be like 35 bucks. Well, 30 if you buy it on stream. 35 when it's on my website. color. Okay, I'm gonna color 2 more things. I'll be done. See? There's my chair. I'm just kidding. Whenever I say I'm a dum-dum, I'm not. I know I'm not. I'm always playing. Always, always, always. When I get depressed, I do not call myself dumb. When I get depressed, I'm just depressed. Don't worry. Cloverkin is A-okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. That makes me happy. You would want to make sure. You are a sweetheart. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. Do a little bit of this still. Make this a bit more bright. No, you. Oh. Oh, Cat, you're so sweet. You want a cat? I mean, this is what claiming it's for. It's not a, if no one else wants it, I'll take it. It's a, I want that, give me that. That's more what I want to hear. That's the claiming. Oh yeah, I mean, that's the point of being a fan though, right? I mean, like, I would do that. If I went into a stream of somebody that, like, I admired and they were like, oh, there's this thing, I'd be like, give it. I want it. It's true. And for anybody who likes my toned stuff, the toned paper with the white and the grayscale and all that, I think going into autumn, I'm going to be doing a lot more of those for my Clover cards. So for these things, I think there are going to be a lot of the toned paper ones. So that'll be fun. What? Not what? People what art? Yeah, yeah. That's how I read it. People what art? Yeah, yeah. I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, get hyped. That's cute. All right. So Kat, the last thing I'll probably do that won't be on stream is these got little lanterns up here. I think I'm gonna go over them with a gel pen, like a yellow gel pen, so they look brighter and all that. So, just letting you know that's still gonna have a little thing done to it. That's true, you know, unless they come in and they didn't know. But yeah, Alice, that's usually the thing. That's why I give people if you want it, grab it. Because I had somebody once that was like, oh, I didn't even know it was up for grabs. So that's why I started these things up at the top. But if you're on mobile, you cannot read that. So I feel bad for those on mobile because you probably don't even know what that says. And there's nothing I can really do about that except to say things audibly. So that's why I do. Yep, so every Saturday I'll make something new to sell. That's the whole point. So if you're not sure about this one, I want, if anybody to claim these, I want them to 100% want it. You know, I don't want you to waver and be like, well, maybe I should, blah, blah. It's like, you gotta want it. I want you to want it. And don't give me no pity buys either. If you want it, get it. You know, if I make something that was meant for you and you know it, grab it. I feel like art is meant for people being put into the world. So if you grab it, if you see that and you're like, oh my god, I love that, and get it. That's what art's for. That I agree with for sure. Your teacup, yeah, for real. Hi, Serenity. So, Alice, the cool thing about streaming on YouTube and Twitch at once is I've got this client that takes both Twitch and YouTube's chat and puts it in the same thing. So on YouTube right now, the chat has been showing everybody in Twitch, and if I say anything in this one thing, it'll reflect, and all your stuff is on YouTube too, so they can see the entire conversation. So it's really cool that it technically, it like bounces. That's the word I'm looking for. Bounces things from Twitch to YouTube and YouTube to Twitch. So it's hard to communicate that though when I say I'm streaming on both YouTube and Twitch, because I don't think people understand that they can see everyone's chat, I guess. Like being on one, they think they'd miss the other or something like that. So I don't know how to better articulate that, I guess. I was thinking it would just kind of reveal itself in time, but maybe it won't. It's just confusing because it's so cool. I was like, oh my god, this thing is great. Nope, I am not losing out. So in this chat client I've got, if somebody from YouTube says something, it'll show a little YouTube icon next to their name, where right now all of you have Twitch icons. So it's pretty neat. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to put a little glow around this thing. Okay. Basically done. Let me make sure this is clean. Oh, you're welcome, JC. Oh, thank you. Oh my god. You're so sweet. JC, I love you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate all of that. Yes, sleep well indeed. Oh, you did, Kat? Let me see. Let me make sure. I just got the international things too, so I will ship it with your Clover cards, actually. I love you too. Oh. You be good to you. You be good to you. Cloverkin will be with you. Be good to you. Alright. Oh, I finally get to put up my little claimed thing. Look what I made, you all. Look at this thing. Whoa, bam. Where is it? There it is. Hey. Gotta use the thing. So now people know. Huggos. Yeah, huggos. Yay. Oh, that's another thing. I miss cons because of hugs. I hug people at cons that let me. I'm a hugger. Serial hugger. So if you don't want to hug, that's fine too. I don't force hugs. Hugs are optional. Alright, Catchy is yours. There. What's nice about this thing is it doesn't give a very distinct white line around it. It just kind of lightens things softly. So I don't get that really weird, like, too much of an outline. It's very subtle, and I really like that. was I seeing it? I saw something that I wanted to fix. Oh yeah. There we go. I'm getting better with my contrast. Usually I'm doing things a bit too light, but I'm getting better. It's improving. All right. Hands off. Hands up. It's over. My little house. Oh yeah, you got the little. Oh man, there's at least probably 1 to 2 years of time between this one and that one. Was it 2 years or 1? Did I put the date on that one, Kat? I don't remember when I made that one. Oh, all right, Alice. You enjoy your D&D next weekend. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I'll miss you here, but know that I'll be thinking of you. How do you know? Well, thank you, Denmark. I'm glad you enjoyed it too. Oh, May 2020. Okay. Dang. Hey, we did a solid job today, everybody. Give yourself a pat on the back. Pat on the back. Pat on the back. Yeah, everybody have a good night. Let me see if I can actually... if any of my friends or anything are streaming. Oh, Steve's on. Hold on. I don't know how many of you are gonna stay, but let me check and see what Steve's up to. Well, Steve joined my Patreon today, so let's give him a raid. How about that? Oh, you're all so sweet. Let me remember how to raid. Raid. There we go. Steve sketches. So Steve does a lot of D&D work and stuff too. So I'm gonna see you guys next time. Let's go raid Steve, okay? Saturdays 2 p.m. CST. Join my Patreon. I love you. Bye. Let's go. Let's go. Is it not raiding? Come on. Yeah. There we go. It's raiding. It's raiding. There we go. Okay. Alright. Let's go see him. Bye.
Cloverkin's raiding with a party of 12. Thanks, Cloverkin. Ooh, my music just got out of control. Hold on. Hey, Cloverkin. These handhelds are so good. They're a little bit of work, but from what I understand, if you just follow this channel there, he has like tons of written guides and stuff on like basically how to break into that hobby. If you want a much more ambitious hobby, you can start looking into like portabilization or modification of older handhelds. And I've really started, like that whole world is like really exciting for me. Guys, go support Cloverkin. She makes amazing. Oh wait, well, we're just playing. Error reaching Twitch HPI servers. Try again later. Oh my goodness. Your boyfriend Galbasaur does Game Boy mods too. I'm only just now starting to think about dipping my toe into the hobby. I need to. But I've never like soldered anything, so I'm gonna need to like get myself a soldering iron and like start figuring out like how to use it and do all that stuff. But I figure there's some pretty easy things that I could do. I do have a Game Boy Color, my first Game Boy Color, and I'm considering doing the IPS screen mod on it to make it all shiny. There's a new one that just came out recently that looks really good. The extra parts you don't have to solder now? Yeah, they don't now. I know, but the ones that like look really good and have lots of cool features do have some soldering, and I'm kind of excited about it. Right? And I also want to get good at soldering because I also have a Wii that's collecting dust in my apartment, and I want to rip the board out of that, shave it down with shave the motherboard down with the Dremel, and turn that into a portable. But that one requires a lot more soldering, so I need to like work my way up to it. So instead of just doing like plug and play modifications to my consoles and stuff, I really want to like make myself do at least a little bit of soldering as I go. I also figure that if I pick up this skill while my kids are still young, then I can then I can like that's something that I can pass to my kids, right? Because electronics are like everything now. Our whole world functions on them. So being able to just have like basic like electronic skills like soldering and stuff like that, that'd be huge for them. And like how valuable is just the simple skill of like being able to look at something that's broken and instead of just going out and buying a replacement, sitting down and fixing it yourself. Right? I've also started looking at like console restoration and stuff. And it's this whole other world that I didn't even realize existed and I just kind of like fell into recently. I've just really enjoyed just kind of in my off time just kind of passively researching that right now.
Work, work.
It's so cool. Thank you so much earlier for the Patreon thing, by the way. Oh, absolutely. I cannot wait to get your products in the mail and to completely rip off all of your ideas and processes. About to eat until I die. Stream hanger. Yeah, dude. The post stream munchies are totally real. Take care of yourself, guys. Go support Cloverkin on Patreon. She's actually doing a kind of a business model similar to what I'm doing or what I want to do, which is she creates these really cool little art pieces and creatures and things. And on the backs of the card, she makes cards out of them. And then on the backs of the cards, she has little short stories and stuff about them. So if you want like super cute little fantasy garden creature stuff, there, it's just I am all about her aesthetic. It is so cool. Yeah, no, please go for it. Post your Patreon, post whatever. Like links are open. Feel free to feel free to plug yourself as shamelessly as you like in my chat. Ooh, this one's is this the one I'm gonna get? I'm excited. So these ones are exclusive to the Patreon. You can't buy these on your shop. Once a month is gone, it's gone. I'm considering selling a backlog, but maybe making some of them. Like if I were to do rares, like you do, like you have the rares every 3 months. If I was to do rare cards, or I would make those Patreon exclusive, but selling a backlog of all the others. Or maybe making them convention specific because then it like gets people to come to me. You're gonna do a book at some point with the art, but the cards are exclusive. Gotcha. Yeah, that's something I also want to do as well, is thinking about future compilations and stuff. I'm pretty excited about it. Okay, so this is the one I'm gonna get. I'm really excited about this. And only the rares are the ones that are foiled. Got it. Very cool. It's okay. So neat. I like how clean it is. My design for my cards Actually, I'll show you my current prototype. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's right. You gotta eat. Mine are not as clean as yours. Mine are a lot more rugged. I'm still working on the design. Looks awesome. I'm glad you think so. If you think it looks good, then that means I probably have a marketable product on my hands. But I'm gonna keep going back to the formatting because I really want to like tighten it up to the point where I'm like really happy with it before I like finalize the product and start shipping it out. But I'll definitely look into cat print and all that stuff. He's doing kaiju cards. Oh, those are cute. Oh, I love the format on the back. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, jeez. I'm so torn whether I should go like all cute and stylized with my stuff or if I should stay all like grungy and realistic. Okay, bye-bye. Those are so cute, dude.